Hello everyone, welcome back to Code with Cougar. In this C# video, we're going to talk about operators in C#. I have created a project called Operators, and also I have written some notes and codes to save time. So C# supports a wide range of operators that can be used to perform various operations in our project. Mainly in this video, we're going to talk about arithmetic operators, which are the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus operator. Then we have the increment and decrement operators that are the plus plus and minus minus operators. These operators are going to be used either as a postfix operator or prefix operator. So what basically the plus plus or minus minus does, it's going to either the plus plus is going to add one value to our variable, and the minus minus is going to decrease one value from our variable. Then we're going to talk about comparison operators. We have the equality operators, which is represented as two double equal signs or double equal signs. So it's different from one equal signs, which is the assignment operator, and this is the equality operator. We're going to talk about that. Then we have the not equality operator. We have the greater than, less than, or greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to operator. Then we'll be talking about logical operators. We have the logical AND operator, we have the logical OR operators, and also the NOT operator. Then we have the assignment operators, the different assignment operators, the equal operator, and also the plus equal operator, minus equal operator. Then we have the bitwise operators, the AND operator, the OR operator, or the NOT operator. Then we have the ternary operators. We're going to talk about. Then I will be talking about the null-coalescing operator, which is represented as two two question marks or double question marks. Then we have the member access operator, and also we have the conditional operators. So first, let's talk about the arithmetic operators. I have defined two variables, int a and int b, assigned two values to them, int a equal to 10 and b equal to 5. So if we wanted to add the value of a and b, we can simply use the addition operator to add the two values, and this operator is going to combine these two values and return that. So that value will be stored in variable c. If we print c here, c is going to be 5 plus 10, which is 15. So 15 will be stored in variable c. Cool. Same, we can subtract one value from another value. If we wanted to subtract value of b from a, we can use the subtraction operator. So c will be 5 here. 10 minus 5 equal to 5. Then we have multiplication. If we wanted to multiply one or two or more than two variables to each other, we can use the multiplication operator. We have the division operator. That's going to take the value of the a and divide the value of a by b. So here 10 will be divided by 5, which is 2, and this 2 will be stored in the variable c. Then we have the modulus operator, which is used to find the remainder of the division. So basically it's going to take the value of a and divide the value of a by b, and whatever the remainder is, the remainder will be stored to the value c. Since a is 10 and b is 5, 10 is perfectly divided by 5 and we don't have a remainder, so this operator will return 0 and 0 will be printed to c. If I print c here, c should be 0. Suppose I reassign the value of a, and let's say a is equal to 12. 12 is not perfectly divided by 5. It will be 2 point something. So we have a remainder of 2. So 2 will be stored in the value of c here. Cool. Then we have the increment and decrement operators, which is the plus plus and minus minus operator. So it's basically going to take the value of a variable and add 1 to that. So it's going to take value of a and add 1 to a, which is a is going to be 11. In this line of code, a is incremented by 1 and a stores the value 11. Same case with the decrement operator. Here we define the value b as 5. If we decrement the value of b, it's going to print 4. So this a plus plus is equal to same as if we take the value of a equal to a plus 1. So we take the value of a, add 1 to that and assign it back to a. Same case, b minus minus is equal to as if we write b equal to b minus 1 and assign this back to b. Okay, this can be used either before the variable or after the variable, or they can be used as prefix or postfix. So what is the difference between using them as prefix and postfix? Let me show you in this lines of code and comment out these. So if I use the increment operator as prefix, so it's going to first take add one value to n, then it will use the value. So it's going to add 1 to 20 and assign that back to n2. CW n2. So n2 is here 20, 21. Okay, since it's going to first add 1 to n1 and then assign it to n2. But if I use this plus plus operator as a postfix, then it's first going to take the value of n1 and assign it to n2. So n2 will be 20, then it will increment n1 by 1. So n2 is 20 here. And if I print n1 after this line, so n1 is already incremented, so n1 will be 21. Or let's take another example. Int my num equal to 50. So if I print my num plus plus, so first it's going to use the value of my num to this print statement, then it will increment my num by 1. So it's going to first print 50, then the value of my num will be incremented by 1. 50 is printed. If I print my num here, since my num is already incremented, so 51 should be printed in this line of code. 51. But what if I increment first, then use the value, or prefix the my num by increment operator? So here it's going to first add 1 to the my num, then will print it. So both the print statement will print 51 here. This is same with the minus minus operator. If I use minus minus, so it's going to decrement the value of my num by 1, which is 49, and print it 49. But if I use decrement operator after the my num, so it's going to first use the my num, then will decrement that. So it's going to print 50 and 49. 50 and 49. So this was the difference between using the increment and decrement operator as postfix or prefix. Then let's talk about comparison operator in C#. They are used to compare two or more values to each other, and always the comparison operator, we have the equal operator, not equal operator, greater than, less than, or greater or equal to, or less than or equal to. They return a Boolean value, either true or false. If this satisfies the condition, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So if A is equal to B, if that is true, then this operator will return true, and that true will be stored in this Boolean variable, which is result. So in this case, since A is 10 and B is 5, so 10 is not equal to 5, so the result will store false. Same case, we can use this comparison operators and if statements. We haven't spoken about if and else statements. If result is true, CW print A equal to B. Else, if result is false, then return A not equal to B. So since here A and B are not equal, so it should print A not equal to B. A not equal to B. But what if I reassigned a and b to be equal, a equal to say 2 and b equal to 2. Right now the value of a and b are equal, so it should print a equal to b. Same case if we have a not equal to b, if a is not equal to b, it will return true. If a is greater than b, or if a is less than b, let's take another example. If 2 is greater than 3, so this condition is false. CW hello, print hello. If this condition is true, print hello, otherwise print nothing. So since 2 is not greater than 3, so this print statement should not be printed, so nothing is printed. But if I reverse that and say if 2 is less than the 3, so 2 is less than the 3, it's true, so this operator will return true, and if true, it will be printed. It is going to print hello on the screen. Or same if I say 2 is less than or equal, so right now the condition is true also, it's going to print hello. But if I say 3 less than or equal to 3, the condition is true, 3 is equal to 3, so it's going to print hello. But if I remove this equality sign from here, 3 is less than 3 is false, so it's not going to print anything. Same case with the greater than or equal to. Okay. Then we have the logical operators. Let's talk about the logical operator and comment these lines of codes here. So the logical operators used in Boolean expressions or conditional expression and if and else statements. We have the AND logical operators and the OR logical operator, and also we have the NOT logical operator. So let's define the variable result again. Boolean result equal to false. So if we have two conditions and wanted to check the between those two conditions, we use the AND or not or operators. So the AND operator basically returns true if all the conditions are true. If we wanted to check between multiple conditions, so AND will return true only if all the conditions are true. If any of the condition is false, it will return false. Suppose we have two conditions, condition 1 and condition 2. Condition 1 is true and condition 2 is false. So AND check AND logical operator checks if condition 1, condition 2, condition 3, or as many conditions we have. If all of them are true, then only it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Since condition 1 is true and condition 2 is false, so this AND logical operator will return false and the result will store false. But in case of OR logical operator, we have many conditions. As long as only one of the condition is true, it will return true. Since condition 1 is true here, it will not going to check condition 2, so it will return true. And the NOT operator, which is represented as exclamation mark, it will reverse or invert the condition. If condition 1 is true, if we say not condition 1, so it will return false. So false will be stored in result. Let's take some examples. If we have two conditions, for example, if 2 equal to 2, 2 is equal to 2, it returns true, and 1 is equal to 1, says, okay, both the conditions are true, this will return true and this will return true. As we said, AND operator will return true if only if all the conditions are true. Since this condition is true and this condition is true, this whole AND logical operator will return true. If I print a code here, so code should be printed since all the conditions are true and we use the AND logical operator. Since if one of the condition is false, let's say 2 equal to 3, 2 is not equal to 3, so it's going to return false. If one of the conditions return false, it's the AND logical operator is not going to check the rest of the conditions and it will return false. So since one of them are false, it's going to return false and this print statement will not be printed. But in case of OR logical operator, As long as one of the condition is true, the OR logical operator will return true. So this one is false, so the OR operator will going to check the other condition. This one is true and it will return true. The code is printed. But if all the conditions are false, one is not equal to one, that's false. So this one is false and this one is false. The whole OR logical operator will return false and this will not be printed. So this was about the logical AND operator, logical OR operator, and also the NOT operator. Then we have the assignment operators. They are used to assign a value to a variable. So basically it's going to take the value of the right hand side and assign it to the variable of the left hand side. If we say int x equal to 10, so 10 will be assigned to the value x. But it's different between the double equal signs. So in double equal signs we have the equality operator is going to check whether two values are equal to each other. But this one equal operator is called the assignment operator. It assigns the value of the right hand side to the left hand side. Then we have plus equal to assignment. It's going to take the value to the left hand side and add it to the value to the right hand side. So it's going to take the value of x and add 5 to that. It's the same as if we write x equal to x plus 5, add 5 to the x. Or we have minus equal operator. It's going to take the value of the left hand side and subtract 5 from that. So it is same as if we say x equal to x, take the value of x and subtract 5 from that and reassign the result to x value. Then we have the multiplication equal to, it's going to take the value of x and assign it to x into 5. So x will be multiplied by 5, which is 50, and 50 will be stored back to x. Same case with the division operator. So it's going to take the value of x, which is 10, and divide the 10 to 5, which is 2, and 2 will be stored to the x. Same with modulus equal operator is going to take the value of the left hand side divided by to the value of the right hand side, and the result will be stored in the value of the left hand side. So x will store 0 since 10 modulus 5 is going to be 0. Then we have a bitwise operator. We are not going to talk about the bitwise operator in this video because it is out of the scope of this video. If you guys want to know more about the bitwise operators, please leave a comment and I will make a separate video about bitwise operators. It is mostly used in assembly languages, and we are not going to talk about this bitwise operator in this video, but in the future videos we might talk about the bitwise operators. So now let's talk about ternary operators. So the ternary operator is a short way of writing a bunch of if and else statements. Suppose I have a variable a equal to 10 and b equal to 5, and also I have a max variable. I'm going to check whether a is greater or b, and I store the greater value to the max variable. I can do that using some if and else statement. If a greater than b, then I'm going to assign the value of a to the max variable. If not, else then b is greater than a, then I'll assign max to b. If I print the value of max here, so max should be 10 since a is greater than b. Okay, the ternary operator is a simple way we can write a bunch of if and else statement in a single line of code. We can write the same code in one line of code. So let me uncomment this section. So using the ternary operator we can achieve the same result. So we are going to check either whether a is greater than b. So the first part is the condition that we are going to put. Then we have a question mark. It's going to check if a is greater than b. If so, do this part, else do this part. Okay, so it's going to check if a is greater than b. It's going to return a and assign a to the max variable. Otherwise, if a is not greater than b, if this condition is not true, then it's going to return b and assign it to max variable. So the syntax is, the first we have our condition, then question mark. So if the condition is true, do this line of code or this portion of code. If not, we have a colon. Then we have if this condition is false, then this part of the code will be executed, or this statement will return the value b and assign it to max variable. If I print max here, max is going to be 10. So this was a ternary operator. If we have a bunch of if and else statement, we can write all of them in one single line of code using this syntax. Then let's talk about null-coalescing operator. It also can be used instead of a bunch of complicated if-else statements. So basically, it's represented by two question marks. It's a way to check for null values in C#. The operator returns the left-hand side, returns if it finds a non-null value, it will return the non-null value. Suppose I have a bunch of if-else statements here. Let me uncomment these lines of code so we can talk about them. Here I have a string 1 equal to null, a string 2 equal to null, a string 3 equal to code with Cougar, and a string result equal to an empty string. So this is the way how we can assign a string value to an empty string, or we can assign it to null. So if we wanted to check if string 1 is not null, then assign the value of string 1 to result value, or then if string 1 is null, then go and check if string 2 is not null, assign the value of string 2 to rest and return. If string 2 is null, then go to string 3. We can do this using a bunch of if-else statement. So we're going to check if s1 is not null, so assign the value of s1 to result. Else, since s1 is null here, we are going to go to the else part. Again, we are going to check if s2 is not null. If s2 is not null, then assign the value of s2 to result, or s2 is also null. So it's going to go to this else statement. Else, if s3 is not null, then assign the value of s3 to result. So since s3 is not null, so result will be code with Cougar. If we print the value of result here, result, it should print code with Cougar. Yep, but we can do the same complicated task using the two question mark or coalescing operator. We can do all of these if-else statements in one single line of code. Let me uncomment this line of code. So all those complicated if-else statements can be written as only one single line of code. So the coalescing operator basically is going to check if this one is not null, it will return the value of this variable and store it into the result variable. But if it is null, it is going to move to the next variable. It will check if this variable is not null. If it is not null, it will return the value, and it will not move to the rest of the coalescing chain. So this is called the coalescing chain. We can have as much as we want. So if as soon as the coalescing operator found a null value, it's going to return that value, and that value will be stored in the left hand side. If I print result here, so this simple line of code is going to be equivalent to this much line of codes and if-else statements. It's going to get complicated if we have a lot of conditions to check. But using the coalescing chain, we can write all of these conditions in one single line of code. Then we have the member accessing operator. It's used to access the member of an object. We haven't spoken about object in the object-oriented lessons. We are going to talk more about that. A string in C# is an object. Suppose we have, or it's a class. A string itself is a class, and we are making an instance of the class string, and we assign a value to that. So this object has a lot of methods or variables or members. We can access the methods of the variable using the dot operator. If I say my string equal to code with Cougar, and I reassign my string to my string the toUpper. toUpper is a function of the object string. We can access that using the dot operator. Is going to change our string to all uppercase. Let's print that my string all code with Cougar is changed to caps later. This was a video about operators in C#. I know we haven't spoken about object oriented, and these concepts might be unfamiliar with for some of you guys. If that is so, don't worry about that. In the future videos, we're going to talk more about operators and access operators, and we'll be using this coalescing operators. Also, we'll be using the ternary operators, which is a simple way of writing a bunch of if and else statements. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to Code with Cougar, and if you guys have any suggestion and recommendation, please write your feedback in the comment of this video. I really appreciate your feedback. Please don't forget to subscribe to Code with Cougar also, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.